And we're live Friday morning. Getting our audience going. Morning cup of coffee. Waiting for a few people to jump on board. Yeah. So 3 people on. Wherever you are, I can't see it. I really don't get that. Like, sometimes you can see who's on there, sometimes you can't. But we're live. Chapter 5. It rhymes. It's great. 4 people. We're building it up. Tony Cook's on. See, but I tried to get it at about 8 o'clock so you can get on. Crystal. Morning, dear. Mika, what's going on, sir? So today, morning, Tony. Today, just before I get into Chapter 5's Dave Matthews Band Jam. They've got 3 out of, I think, the 14 chapters in the book are Dave Matthews songs. They're an unbelievable band. But so before I get into that, I just want to share with. So I mentioned, I don't know, I'm not sure which live it was, but, you know, it's been since August, lost quite a few people. And last night I woke up, when you lose someone, you know, they say that, you know, they'll come to you in a dream and just to kind of let you know they're all right. And I just kind of never really necessarily bought into it. Not that that's something you buy into, but, I woke up last night. I lost my grandmother January 1st. She helped raise my sister and I. She was the matriarch of our family. And last night, about 2 in the morning, or this morning, 2 in the morning, I woke up literally in tears. I had one of those dreams, and it, my grandmother was there telling me that she was all right. There's more to it than that, but if you've lost someone, take solace in the fact that they're definitely here and they're definitely looking over us. She told me that everything was going to be all right, that she missed everyone. So anyone that's family and friends that's watching, I got my message from my grandmother, and that was awesome. So hopefully, if you've lost anyone near and dear to your heart, and they do come to you in one of your dreams, I'll tell you this: it was a pretty surreal. It was one of those dreams where you think it's happening, you think it's real. But anyway, I just had to get that off the chest. But we're here, Chapter 5, guys. Top of the morning to you in Buffalo. Here it is rainy. It's warm, but it's rainy and miserable. But 60-something degrees in February. You can't complain. So, what we're doing, good morning, Ansu. What we're doing these mornings is we're going over the chapters of the book. At this point, we're in Chapter 5, which, as I said, the hashtags let you know that Chapter 5 is a Dave Matthews Band song, and it's Where Are You Going? So, Chapter 1 was the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Under the Bridge, and had to do with not wanting. What's up, Josiah? The guy's doing big things out in Colorado. He's a great guy. If you have a chance to check him out, I'll probably share some of his stuff, Josiah. Mrs. Martina, how are you? So, Chapter 1 was Red Hot Chili Peppers, Where Are You Going? Or Red Hot Chili Peppers, Under the Bridge. And that was just about where I was. Everyone has their own personal rock bottom or their own personal experience that you'd like to forget or might have been a catalyst for some change in your life, and that was mine. Chapter 2, Rhyme and Reason. In the song, Dave Matthews talks about being in a dark place and wanting to necessarily not be here. And I think a lot of us that have ever had self-doubt or had gone through depression or had dealt with certain things or just dealt with life and it became overwhelming at times can relate to that song, can relate to feeling like that pain won't leave your head. You can't get certain things out of your head. Anyone that's gone through or experienced emotions like that can relate to that song, Rhyme and Reason. Chapter 3 was DMX's Lord Give Me a Sign, which I was looking for a sign. I had gone through some troubling times to my own doing, but I experienced failure, disappointment. All I could feel was despair, and I was asking for that sign. I had gotten back and found my faith yet again. Not that I really ever lost it, but when things are going wrong, that's what we do. We ask God for answers, and I got a sign, and I think all of us that were friends with Jay had gotten a sign when he had died by suicide, and that was the sign I needed for me to say, okay, you need to do something about it, because there are too many people that are not feeling themselves, that might be depressed, that might be feeling down. They feel like, and if you've never had those feelings, you can't necessarily explain them to somebody, nor do you want to. So this is my way of doing it in writing the book, Find Your Playlist. That was my sign. Since then, I've got involved in the Spuds campaign with Jay's sister, which I did not hashtag on this, but I will have to go back and do that. But that was my sign for me. That was my sign that I needed to do something. Good morning, Chris. Morning, Sandy. Jackie. That was my sign that I needed to do something. That was my sign that everything that I had been keeping in, I needed to get out. And it's not a sign that I wanted, but that, along with my family and friends pouring all their support into me, it was like, okay, well, now's the time to do something. So maybe you can relate to that. Maybe there's something that you've been looking for, that sign, oh, I should do this, or I should do that, or I want to do this, and you're waiting for that right time. As I get into later in the book and in other chapters, there's no right time. I just happened to take that loss as a sign for me to wake up and start doing something about it. Chapter 4 that we talked about yesterday was Michael Jackson's Man in the Mirror, and that song is probably the catalyst of the whole book. That was the catalyst that said, okay, I'm not where I wanted to be in life. I'm not doing the things that I wanted to do in life. I'm not happy. And happiness is an inside job, guys. It has nothing to do with how much money you make. It has nothing to do. And I thought that, but I wasn't necessarily sure why I wasn't happy. I had everything that I should be happy with. I had a great family. I had a good paying job. I had a nice car. I had a home. And none of that satisfied me, because for me, I knew there were other things that I wanted to do in life. My life wasn't the life that I always envisioned it. And I was miserable, and in turn making other people miserable. But it had nothing to do with the other people. It had nothing to do with my parents. It had nothing to do with family, friends, job, outside circumstance. It had nothing to do with any of that. In chapter 4 in Man in the Mirror, that song and the lyrics and the words in that song just punched me in the face and said, look in the mirror. Ralph Waldo Emerson said that when we arrive at the question, the answer is always near. And it's always near because it's slapping you and it's staring you right in the face, because the answer to most of our problems is the person that we look at in the mirror every day. And that's what that chapter for me did. It says, look, if I wanted my life to change, I needed to look in the mirror. I needed to look at myself for the reason on why I was not happy, for the reason on why I wasn't doing the things that I wanted to do in life. And fear had a lot to do with that. But at the end of the day, being miserable does nothing about it. It made other people miserable. At the end of the day, it had nothing to do with any outside circumstance other than the fact that I wasn't living up to the expectations that I set for myself. That nobody was responsible for where I was in life, and nobody's responsible for where you are in life other than yourself. And this is why I say it's the toughest one to grasp, because we have to accept responsibility for who we are, what we do, and where we are going, which is chapter 5. And when I would listen to Dave Matthews songs, and in this song in particular, it just resonated with me. Like, where am I going? What am I doing? Yes, I am making a very good living. I had a very good boss. I had very good co-workers. But at the end of the day, I wasn't happy because there was no direction. I was just going to work. I was really just going to work and earning a paycheck. And for a lot of people, that might be fine. For me, it wasn't. I knew that there was more that I was looking for in life. And when I heard this song, and I was, again, I had listened. These are all songs that are in my library of songs, and it was after failing and just feeling like a complete failure and being depressed and not wanting to be here that I went through this reflective state period, I should say, of roughly, 2 to 3 months or longer, about probably closer to 5 months. And I guess maybe it's even continuing on because I'm finding different songs to add to my playlist as I've gone from one point in my life to another. But when I was in this period, these songs, I had heard them many times before, but I was in a reflective state of mind, and they just hit me. And it was almost like they were written right for me. They were written for me with me in mind. And you and I both know that wasn't the case. But when life happens, I think sometimes music, and that's the idea of this book, music can help us get through these tough periods if we use it correctly, or if we're looking for an answer, or if we're looking for help, which I was. And this Dave Matthews song said to me, where am I going in life? What is the plan? What direction? It was like I was getting in a boat with no engine, nowhere to go, and just like out there in the sea or the lake or wherever it is, that the boat might be, with no direction. And that could be, good morning, Don. That could be absolutely frustrating. I know it was for me. There was no plan, is what I'm trying to get at. So that's what this song did for me. It really said, it caused me to ask myself, man, where are you going in life? Where the F are you going? What the hell are you doing? What's your point? What's your purpose? What's the plan? And I didn't necessarily have one at that time. I knew that I wanted things to be different, but I didn't know how I was going to get there. And this song put it into perspective for me, like, you need to ask yourself, and I think we need to ask ourselves from time to time, okay, is what we're doing right now moving us in the direction of where we want to be? And if it's not, then we need to stop and say, okay, what am I doing wrong? Or even ask yourself, where do I want to go? What's the point of it all? And some people might just be very happy just going about life, going to work, coming home, having a few beers. I don't know. Everyone is different. No two people are different. But I knew that I had something else that I wanted to do. And maybe you have something else in your life that you want to do. You don't feel fulfilled in life. You're not sure what it necessarily is. Or maybe you know what it is, but you're afraid to do it. Or you're afraid to take that leap. Or you're afraid of what maybe other people think. I don't know what it is that holds us back from doing the things that we want to do. But I know that when I listened to this music and I was putting it into perspective, and Hans Christian Andersen said, when words fail, music speaks, and that's what it did for me. Music spoke to me and said that, okay, this is you. This song today is you, and what are you going to do about it? And I think we all go through life without even necessarily wondering what the point of it is. I just knew that when I get to the day when maybe if I do get to that day and I'm on my deathbed, I don't want to look back and say, I wish I did this, I wish I did that. I mean, I've done a lot of things that I probably regret in life or would do differently, but I don't want to look back and say, man, I wish I did this, or I wish I did that, because we only get one. And I wasn't necessarily sure the direction I was going. And this song, for me, put it into perspective and said, look, where are you going, Matt? What are you doing? What's the plan? And how the hell are you going to get there? So that's what chapter 5 was for me. This Dave Matthews Band song in the book helped me to realize that I didn't necessarily have a direction that I was going in. So to use another illustration, I had gotten into the car of life, but I really didn't know what road I was on. I didn't know where I was going. It's like I couldn't see out of my windshield. So I got in the car with no purpose. And I think a lot of us do that. We get in our cars and we're on this journey of life, but we have no direction whatsoever. And that for me is what this song did. This song spoke to me and says, Matt, what the hell are you doing? If you want to do something, you need to figure out where you're going. You need to get some direction. You need to get a plan. And as we go through the other chapters, you need to figure out how you're going to get there. So, guys, I hope that was of some help. You might be able to relate to this song. Maybe you're asking yourself the same question, where am I going in life? I can't answer that. Only you can. But for me, in my book, Find Your Playlist, that's what it was. It was how I used music to help me figure the answers to these questions out. So, guys, I hope everyone has an amazing Friday. I hope you have a great weekend. And we'll be back on Monday with Chapter 6. Guys, that's all I have for you. I'm out.